Welcome back to Simple Truth. Hey, we're in the story of David in 1 Samuel. We're in chapter 18, been going through it kind of verse by verse, word by word, pulling out some nuggets of truth about David's life and things that he did. And so we want to continue on in 1 Samuel chapter 18. I want to pick it up with this whole idea of Saul, right? Saul is coming back from victory, and as he's coming back from a victory, the people are responding to the victory. And they're pointing out that Saul killed thousands, but David tens of thousands. Saul gets frustrated with this comment. Starting in verse 8, he says, "And Saul was very angry, and this saying displeased him. And he said, They have ascribed to David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed thousands. What more can he have but the kingdom? Saul eyed David from that day on." So we see that something changed in a moment. The way that things were announced by people, innocent people who really truly were just responding to a victory. But the spirit, right, that was on and oppressing Saul and wanting him to buy into this, right? The ground was fertile within him for a seed to be planted. Maybe you can recognize this, that the ground, you have been fertilized, cultivated by the enemy, so that when he plants a seed of doubt, plants a seed within you of division, of jealousy, of envy, all the things that he is about, it's going to take root. I think we think sometimes the enemy just, shoots the fiery darts at us all the time, and we're good. We can fend them off. We can use our weapons against him, the word, and we're good. But the enemy also, he takes time to cultivate his plans. He takes time to cultivate your life to a place where he just keeps picking and picking and picking and picking at a scab. And all of a sudden, it takes root. What he wants takes root. We see this within Saul, because here's the next verse. The next day, a harmful spirit from God rushed upon Saul. You see, the problem is that when we start entertaining these things, we're giving the enemy a right to us. And when we give the enemy a right to us, when God says, okay, you can test him, okay, you can sift him, okay, you can, the enemy, notice, he doesn't walk, he rushes in. He rushes in to oppress Saul. The king of Israel allowed a moment, now this isn't just a one moment thing, allowed a moment to be cultivated way back here when he decided he wasn't going to take on Goliath. He wasn't going to lead the people. He was going to let somebody else lead them. When he decided that he wasn't going to wait for Samuel to offer a sacrifice, thing after thing after thing, and it became about what people thought about Saul. Saul very concerned about what other people thought of him. And so he started doing things not in response to God, not as a reaction to God, not because God said to do it, because he wanted the people's attention. He wanted their approval. And when all of a sudden someone else is getting more approval, we see what happens. God allows for an evil spirit to rush upon Saul. God will allow these things to happen with our own life. We have to guard against things. We have to guard against these moments, knowing that the enemy is going to cultivate, and then he's going to plant a seed in hope that it takes root. And sometimes he has permission from God to allow this to happen because we just won't get where we need to get to. We just won't fight the battle the way that we need to fight the battle. So again, make this practical, simple truth. You need to not just guard against the fiery darts that you can see of the enemy, but guard against the little foxes. Guard against the things that are cultivating, right, in your life, that when the enemy plants that seed of jealousy, it's going to take off, right? Guard against those things. Some of the way that we do that is we have other people listen to how we're talking. We have other people listen to what we're saying. And when they start going, hey, wait a minute, wait, I noticed something there. We pay attention to it and we don't get defensive about it, which is impossible to do. We respond to it. We say, you know what? You might be right. We might be right. There is an oppressive spirit upon me that wants access to me. I don't want to be in a place where God allows that to happen. So guard against that. Hey, we'll see you next time on Simple Truth.